If you guys watched my video from earlier where we were able to preview the series for the Oklahoma City Thunder and Indiana Pacers, I told you this was going to be an epic series. This was going to be an insane series. Watching two young stars go at it, try to cement their legacies, grow as superstars in this league. And quite frankly, that's what we got today. We got an epic game. I think this series is going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be incredible, and kind of the narrative that's been put out there by a lot of the national talking heads of this being just a bad NBA finals because it's two small market teams. I don't think that's going to be the case. If you were not watching the NBA finals tonight, you're definitely watching after this, because the Indiana Pacers just now took the series lead 1-0 over the Oklahoma City Thunder with a 111-110 win, with Tyrese Haliburton hitting the game-winning shot with 0.3 seconds left on the clock, not giving Oklahoma City any time to try to really go out there and get a good shot off to try to win this game. But that's kind of how it's been for the Indiana Pacers going throughout this postseason. It's been absolutely nuts. It's been crazy watching them come back from 20 points down series after series. You watch them down by 10 points with less than a minute left. And, Indiana just goes out there and hits all of these insane shots, and they do it time and time again. This is probably one of the clutchest teams we have ever seen in NBA history in regards to how they have been able to fight and battle adversity to win games. And that's where I think, tonight you probably saw that play a disadvantage to the Oklahoma City Thunder, where they did play a tough series against Denver. Indiana has time and time again in this playoffs came back from numerous deficits and had to win ball games. And they've ultimately got to the NBA Finals through that. So even if you don't think their path to the NBA Finals was as hard as the Thunder's, I would say they are more battle tested than the Thunder at this point in time, because even in that Bucks series, that was not an easy series for them to go out there and win. So we got to talk about this win for the Indiana Pacers, how the Oklahoma City Thunder can bounce back in game two. But yeah, before we dive into it, I want to hear from y'all. So join the discussion. Jump in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about this win for the Pacers or the loss for the Thunder, however you want to look at it. And this is where I ask you guys to like and subscribe to the channel so that you guys can be brought up to speed with what we're talking about throughout these NBA finals, and so that you're not missing any of this content. So make sure you guys check those little boxes. Completely free to you. Doesn't cost you a dime, but it really helps the channel out here grow. Now, the Oklahoma City Thunder here, they lose this game 111-110 to the Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Haliburton gets that game-winning shot. But, as you might have seen the title, I said that, the Thunder collapsed to the Indiana Pacers. And I truly believe that's kind of what happened here. Because in the first half of this game, it felt like Oklahoma City had control. It really felt like when Oklahoma City was up 57-45, that Oklahoma City was probably going to win this game by 10 or more points. That's what it felt like. It didn't ever feel like this game was out of reach. And when we got into the second quarter, it just felt like Oklahoma City kept missing more and more shots. They left Indiana in this arm distance reach. And, as we've seen throughout the playoffs, leaving Indiana within an arm distance, that's just going to end up killing you. And so, when you look at the first half of the Oklahoma City Thunder, you're not able to capitalize on the turnovers. You had it at 19-3, right? You had forced Indiana into 19 turnovers. That was absolutely insane. I don't think anybody would have guessed that Indiana, of all teams, would have turned the ball over 19 times in the first half against the Thunder, because one of the things that we talked about in the series preview was how good the Indiana Pacers are at taking care of the ball and not turning the ball over, getting, really good shots, getting a lot of guys involved. And, it was just a crazy game. It was all over the place. And, the Oklahoma City Thunder only ended up getting 9 points off the turnovers. And Indiana had 25 turnovers in this game. And that's where, you look at the team stats tonight and you look at the field goal percentage difference. Indiana shot 47% from the field while Oklahoma City only shot 39. You saw the 3-point percentage difference. Indiana shot 46.2. Oklahoma City only shot 36.7. You look at this. Oklahoma City got out-rebounded 56-39 with having 2 7-footers, alternating them on the floor. So this was a game where Oklahoma City basically stayed in it through turnovers, and they couldn't capitalize on it. And, Oklahoma City had an 87% chance to win this game with a minute and what was it, like 30 seconds left when they were up by 5. And, it didn't look like Indiana was, doing too well at the free throw line, hitting their shots. But, this is just who they are. Now, SGA, I'm not going to get onto him at all because, he goes out there, he gets 38 points. He comes out the gate extremely aggressive, trying to get himself going after a longer layoff, which I definitely think impacted the Thunder. Also, you can see it probably impacted the Pacers a little bit more because, when you have these longer layoffs, I was actually talking to somebody about this during the game. When you have these long layoffs in between series, it's not necessarily that you're rusty, but when you just come off of playing like a game 7 and you go into a game 1, you're still in rhythm, right? Your shooting is still in rhythm from the last series versus, if you have like a week off, sometimes that rhythm can be thrown off and it can be hard to get back into rhythm. And usually it can take about a game for that to happen. And I think that's kind of what you're seeing here for Oklahoma City, right? It's going to take probably this game for Oklahoma City to get back into the swing of things for shooting. However, Oklahoma City's margin for error just definitely got a lot less because now you have to go steal at least one game in Indiana to reclaim home court advantage. And ideally, if you would like to close this game or this series out in 5, you're going to have to win 2 straight games in Indiana, and that's going to be a tall task. I look at this game and I can totally now see how this series is going to go 7 games because if you're Oklahoma City, you win this next game, it's tied 1-1. Let's say you come out in game 2, you win that game, you're up 2-1. Indiana takes game 4, it's tied 2-2. Come back to Oklahoma City. Yes, you have a chance of taking game 5 at home, but it's going to be extremely hard to take a second game in Indiana. And that was going to be the case from the start. And so now, Indiana has put this in prime position to not only give themselves a chance to win the series, but extend this series out to 7 games. Now, if you're Oklahoma City, what do you need to do to be able to bounce back in this game? And obviously, I think SGA, he played pretty well tonight, only having 2 turnovers, but had 3 steals, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 3 of 6 from 3, 14 of 30 from the field overall with 38 points. You look at Jalen Williams, 17 points. Again, you would like to see Jalen Williams get into that 20 or more mark. That's when I feel like Oklahoma City is at their best. Chet Holmgren just really, in my opinion, was not good tonight. 6 rebounds, 6 points, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 of 9 from the field, 1 turnover, only 1 block. Chet Holmgren's got to be better, especially in some of those small ball lineups where, they're going to play Obi Toppin or Pascal Siakam at the center and play a guy like Naismith or Nembhard, at the forward position. Oklahoma City's got to be better in those. This is why you have built the team you have the way you have. And overall, as great as they were in getting loose balls and causing a lot of havoc in the passing lanes, they did not do enough, I feel like, to protect themselves at the rim. Now, on the opposite side of that, Indiana could have easily lost this game by 10 or more points because I do not feel like they did a very good job at trying to guard Shai and prevent him. At one point in the game, you saw Indiana staying up closer to the top of the key, allowing SGA to get around them and get easy cuts to the basket, right? And then when they tried to adjust to that by dropping back into the paint a little bit more, SGA was getting a little bit more momentum and rhythm into those mid-range shots. So I'm not sure what the answer is there for Indiana. Obviously, what they did tonight wasn't working, and I think they really did just get lucky with the fact that Oklahoma City did not shoot well at home, coming off of a longer break, which, Indiana came off of a longer break as well, so it's not really that big of an excuse there. But Indiana, this could have been this could have been a pretty bad outcome for you. So, I feel like Indiana, they come in here, they stole one, they did what they were supposed to. This is what you could have asked from Indiana to go out there and do. Now they got to go out there, take care of business, not only try to steal game 2, but if you can't steal game 2, go do what you're supposed to, go win games 3 and 4, come out of this series up 3-1, and you're in prime position to take this series and definitely extend it to 7 games. So we're going to talk about this series, this game, a little bit more in depth. We'll talk about what Oklahoma City needs to adjust to in game 2. We got a couple days in between games, so we got time to break all this down. But I want to hear from y'all and your initial reactions, what you guys thought. So jump in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys are hitting that like and hitting that subscribe button.